If we're all ready, we'll kick off with Charlie.
Good morning, Mikel. How are you?
Very good, thank you.
Can we start off with team news? I know Arsenal, of course, issued an update yesterday on the website, but is there any new news following that update?
On Kieran?
No, just generally, anything new to add to the update that Arsenal issued yesterday?
No, not really. We will know more in the next 2 days with the injuries that we have and how they are evolving and whether they're going to be available for Sunday or the next game. And be patient because at the moment looks like a lot of players are breaking down.
And just focusing in on Thomas Partey, can you let fans know just how long he might be out for?
Again, it's a difficult one. He felt something during the game. We didn't think it was too bad, but after the scan looked a little bit worse. He won't be available to play against Leeds, and we will see how it evolves in the next few days, but it's a muscular issue.
And how frustrating is it for him to have suffered another injury, and how big of a blow is it for you in terms of team selection?
He was devastated. We were all devastated because we know the importance of Thomas, and we haven't had him since we signed him. We haven't had him in 3 games consecutive. I think he's only played 90 once. He's come back from the injury, so it's a big blow for us. But he's adapting to the league. I think he's been very unlucky as well, and he's very frustrated because he's a really competitive guy who wants to feel important and be important for the team, and at the moment the injuries are restricting a lot of game time for him.
And I know Bernd Leno is available again after suspension, but Matt Ryan did do well last week against Aston Villa. So do you have a bit of a selection dilemma on your hands?
Well, I think Matt played a really good game, and to be for the first game that he played with us after very little training, I think he was really good. I really like the way he reacted because conceding a goal in your debut so early and still react the way he did, it showed a lot of character from him. So that's why we brought him here, because he has to be an option and he has to keep pushing Bernd.
And you've had a week to prepare for this game against Leeds. So has that time on the training pitches been useful for you to try to fix any issues following the last 2 games, which of course were losses?
Well, we could work some days not, because of the snow as well and the conditions on the pitch, but it's unusual for us to have a week to prepare, but obviously we reviewed a lot of things that we've done in recent weeks, the reason we won a lot of games and the reason we won in a really strange way the last 2 games when we didn't deserve to do it, but it's completely down to us and things that we have to do better.
And Leeds, of course, sit above Arsenal in the Premier League table, and reverse fixture produced a goalless draw. But what did you learn about Leeds from that game, and having watched them recently as well?
Well, they are a really brave, dynamic and attacking side. I think they are a really exciting side. A great coach, great coaching staff, that they are all involved, and a bunch of players that believe 100% in what they do, and they just go every game with the same energy and enthusiasm to go and get the points, and I think they deserve more points as well with what they have in the table at the moment.
Okay, Mikel, thanks.
Thank you.
Thanks for Charlie. We'll go to Emma from Sky Sports.
Hi Mikel, nice to
Hello.
see you.
Hi.
I know you've given a bit of an update there on the team news and on Thomas Partey, but just on Kieran Tierney, I know he's due back in training next week, but what is the time scale there? When do you expect him to return to action?
We're going to have to see how the knee reacts when he starts to get a little bit more load. He hasn't done much yet, but he's very positive at the moment. He's in great spirits. He's desperate to get back on the team, and we will see in the next few days, the moment he starts to train a little bit more with the team, how that knee is feeling and reacting to the load.
How frustrating is it not to have him available? Obviously the Leeds game this weekend, but you're back in Europa League action next week, and then you've got a couple of big games in the Premier League as well, in City and Leicester.
To be fair, getting used to it because we're missing so many players all the time. I don't remember the last time that we were able to play the same starting 11 two times. 3, I can't even think about it. But it's what it is. The players are making huge efforts, even the ones that are injured are willing to come back all the time to play, and this is what we demand to them. And and the ones that are on the pitch, they have to give their best and make it difficult to the ones that want to get back in, and that's what we're trying to do.
And that Leeds game back in November, that goalless draw, it was really remembered for Nicolas Pepe getting sent off. He's improved massively over the past few months. You're obviously working with him in training every day. What more can we expect from him?
Again, that he can maintain the level now for months, not for weeks. I think he's done much better. I think there is a click on him, even on his mentality, how he's approaching every training session, the importance of every action in the game, and how he can sustain his focus and his determination during games. I really like his attitude, what he's done in the last few weeks. I think it's been much better. He still has a lot of room to improve and grow, and he's willing to do that. So I'm expecting him to go to the next level very soon.
And last one from me, Mikel. I know we've spoken to you about this before, but I just wanted to ask you about the social media abuse that we're seeing, because it seems like it's almost a daily occurrence now that players are being abused on social media. Is this something you've spoken to your players about, and what are the club doing to support players?
Of course, we spoke internally about the players and tried to give them some advice and trying to protect them as much as possible. The incident that occurred a few days ago again with Mike Dean is completely unacceptable, and I think we should all stand for him and support Mike and the referee committees as well. They have a tremendously difficult role at the moment in the league, with a lot of key decisions that affect teams and leagues one way or the other, but at the same time they try to do their best, they prepare the best possible way, and we all make mistakes, and I think we have to support them.
Thanks, Mikel. Good luck on Sunday.
Thanks, Emma. George from the BBC.
Thanks, Dan. Morning, Mikel.
Hello.
Has this social media abuse, has this got worse since you playing? It just seems such a regular occurrence now. And I know you've got a Twitter account, but do you actually look at it anymore?
No, I think if we would be reading everything that is writing about us, probably we have to stay in bed a lot of days. And it's part of it, you know. I think it's great that people have the ability and so many platforms and way to communicate and give their opinions. The only thing I'm asking is just to be respectful, you know, do in a respectful way. You don't have to batter anybody or try to hurt anybody. It's just, give your opinion with the best intentions, and when it's constructive, I think everybody can take criticism, you know, and it's part of our job to look at it and think and reflect on it. But when people are just with the intention of hurting, that when it becomes a little bit silly, in my opinion. And it's just finding that balance. It's got a lot of positives, but I think there are things that we can do better as well to defend the industry a little bit better.
Kieran Tierney, this injury he's got, is it a bad one? And was it as bad as you expected when you first found out? Did you expect him to be out this long?
Well, we didn't know. At the end, when you have pain and you are not comfortable and you are someone like Kieran who does everything 100 miles an hour, you need to be in the right condition. When someone like him is telling you it doesn't feel right, something is wrong, you worry because you know how much he wants it as well. He's in a much better place now in the last few days. He's feeling better, he's training, he's positive, he's willing to come back early and help the team, and hopefully we can have him soon.
So you've got him out, you've got Thomas Partey out, you've had a lot of red cards this season, you lost your captain Aubameyang a couple of weeks ago. Is this just one of these seasons that you're just having these problems that are just coming out of nowhere? And that possibly explains your league position?
I don't know, I don't like to use any excuses. It's what it is. We have to adapt, and we have other players trying to do their job. But at a certain moment you need some consistency. You need a team that has to play, and you see all the successful teams that you need some consistency in your starting 11s and get that chemistry, that cohesion, that togetherness there. And we haven't been able to do that. And it's the context, it's the situation, it's the COVID, it's that strange year, it's no preseason, it's a lot of factors there. But I think still we could be in a much better place just looking at what we've done in games ourselves and what we have given away. That's it.
Just the last one. Marcelo Bielsa's got a famous sort of training ground tactic. I don't know if you've heard of it. It's the players practice a thing called murder ball. I just wondered if you'd heard of it and whether you've tried that with your squad at all. It's apparently very intense and it's all out for 20 minutes.
Yes, I heard about it. I've seen it. And Marcelo's got some incredible methods, and you just have to see the way the team plays and some of the things that they do constantly, some habits that they have that they implement throughout the game with such a conviction. So it's a lot of things that coaches like me, young coaches like me, can learn from people like him that has been for a long time in the game and being really successful.
Thank you. Good luck Sunday. Thank you.
Thanks.
Thanks, George. We'll go to Ian from TalkSport.
Hi, Mikel. How are you?
I'm good, thanks.
Good. I just want one more on social media, and I spoke to you last week about it, but I was chatting to Steve Bruce yesterday, and he said, like Mike Dean, even he has had death threats. It seems that even managers are being singled out in the media. I know you don't necessarily look at Twitter and Instagram, but have you suffered some stick this season? Because you have. Do you want to tell us about it?
I prefer not to, but I think we are all exposed in this industry to that, and that's why I prefer not to read, because it would affect me personally much more the moment that somebody wants to touch my family. And because it happened, the club was aware of it, and we tried to do something about it. And that's it. We have to live with it. It's not going to stop tomorrow. We know that, but medium, long term, can we do something about it? That's where I am pushing for.
Appreciate your honesty on that one. You're going about injuries before. Do you think this season we should have bigger squads? I mean, I know it's hard maybe to have a 25-man squad anyway, but with so many injuries, do you think maybe, and I know it's through all with bubbles as well, you could have had bigger squads this year?
We could. I think we had as well. The issue we had is the balance of that squad, you know, then the proportion in positions, whether you have the same numbers and they can all feel part of it, feel important, you can still share some minutes. Being in 4 competitions maybe made sense. In 2 competitions now, I don't think it makes that much sense, but you never know. It's so unpredictable. You lose players every week. At the moment, how we're going to end up in May, we don't know. We have a long week, and now you are really tempted to say, okay, let's train so hard. This week is the first long week we had in the season, but as well, players need to recover, and they need some freshness. And now the calendar in the next 6 to 8 weeks is absolutely crazy. So there is a balance that we have to find out there as well.
You said Leeds were exciting earlier. For me, they have the kind of attitude, you score 3 goals, we'll score 4 goals, which is great in the odd game or two, but it doesn't really win you very much over the course of a season or a long spell, does it?
Well, when you look at a lot of the games that they lost, how they lost them, it's pretty incredible as well, because in my opinion, they haven't deserved. They've been really punished on set pieces as well, which is being one key area there. But overall, what they produce in open play comparing to the opponents, it's difficult to see games where they have produced less than the opponent.
And your good friend Pep Guardiola is one of these Marcelo Bielsa disciples. Are you as well? I mean, do you think Bielsa is absolutely amazing?
No, I'm not a disciple because I don't know him that well. Pep knows him much better than I do. But obviously, you try to learn, pick up things that you like from other teams, be interested on how they develop their teams and the ethos and the way of playing. And for sure, Marcelo's got a lot of positive things to look at him.
And last one quickly, the Europa League starts again next week. I think top 4 is probably a stretch for Arsenal, unless you win every game. Top 6, maybe 2. Will you start to prioritise now the Europa League? And I know you're going to start by telling me you want to win every game, but I mean, if you win the Europa League, you're back in the Champions League.
And the priority is Leeds, and then we go back to Europe. Obviously, it's a competition that we know that it can give us access to what we want, and still a long way to go. It's still a very strange year as well, the location where we're going to be playing those games, and let's go step by step.
Brilliant stuff. Keep well, Mikel.
Thank you.
Thanks, Ian. We'll go to Nick from Haters.
Cheers, Dan. Morning, Mikel.
Hello.
I don't want to pry too much about your sort of personal life there, but it's shocking to hear that you and your family have had threats on social media. That must have had an impact on you in your day-to-day life and your working life as well.
But it it's part of the job, honestly, Nick. I think I'm not the only one that is suffering these type of things. I think when you're winning, everything is beautiful and you are incredible, and it's you are the best coach. And when you lose, it's completely the opposite, and that's the reality. And it's not pleasant when it goes personal against me. I can take it. When the family is involved, then it's a different story.
And so you can take it because you're sort of prepared and not used to it, but you steeled yourself to it. But protecting other people around you is another matter, isn't it?
Yeah, absolutely. But we are lucky enough as well that the club is very supportive. We do what we have to do when those things happen. And again, my only purpose is just, it's not going to happen tomorrow again, but medium, long term, can we do something about it to protect more the people that are involved in the game, and maybe in other industry it happens the same way.
Of course. Just a quick couple of football questions, hopefully. Gabriel Martinelli, there was a lot of excitement about him when he came back to fitness. He looked fantastic when he first played, and obviously you had to ease him back in a bit. But he seems to have sort of just slipped out of the running again. Is there any reason why you're not playing him more at the moment?
Well, he came back, he did really well, then he picked up another injury. It took him a while to come back, and now he's getting in the rhythm and earning his place in the team like anybody else, and when he has the opportunities, play. Don't forget that we played him last time against Manchester United. He started in front of other players, so it's not that he's not having the opportunities.
Okay, so there's nothing that you're concerned about the way he's playing or anything. It's just a question of his.
No, we know that he's got a huge potential. He's done some really good things since he's come back, and still has a lot of things to develop in his game, because at his age, of course, is normal. The
Thomas Partey injury, is that just a sort of a side effect of this demanding season? Because he never seemed to get injured before, did he?
Yeah, but he came here, obviously a different league, physically much more demanding than the Spanish league, and he got injured. He wanted to get back, he got back, he got injured again, so his rhythm has been in and out. He hasn't had a preseason, he hasn't had probably the type of preparation that is needed for such a change, and then his anxiety probably to be willing to do so well, to feel important, is a big signing. All those things add, and he break down again. We have to be patient now. He needs to recover properly, because it's going to be key for us to have him available at the end of the season.
Okay, thanks. And just finally then, Folarin Balogun, it seems to be that Arsenal fans have to be prepared to the fact that he's going to be leaving at the end of the season. Is that how you see the situation now? No, I'm still very positive that Flo is going to stay with us. This is what we are trying as a club. This is what I'm trying as a manager. And as far as I know from last week, again, the player wants to be here. So so far, I'm positive. Not getting any game time, though, is he? Not yet, but he's played much more than people thought this season, when he was just on the under-23s for the whole season. So I think he's made some big progress in a few months. Good stuff. Thanks very much for your time. Thank you.
Thanks, Nick.